Hi, welcome back to our channel. We regularly upload interesting videos on different stories. Before we start, be sure to drop a like, leave a comment. In 1982, a giant extraterrestrial spaceship arrives at Earth and hovers over the South African city of Johannesburg. A human investigation team finds over 1 million malnourished aliens inside, and the South African government relocates them to a terrestrial camp called District 9. However, over the years it turns into a slum, and locals from Earth often complained that the aliens are filthy, ignorant lawbreakers who bleed resources from humans. In the beginning, people supported to give proper status and protection to the aliens. However, this has changed and no non-humans owns became normal. People felt that the money they spend on keeping the aliens alive should be spent on them instead. Pieces started falling from the vessel for months, and nobody knew where the aliens hid them. The military found more and more energy weapons inside the slum and tensions rose. People became more and more fed up, and eventually the rioting started. The derogatory term prawn is used for the alien. Some say it is only used because they look like prawns. As violence rose after 20 years, the government is forced to ship the aliens out of Johannesburg. They plan to move 1.8 million prawns to 200 kilometers away to a new camp. To make the move legal, every single prawn needs to sign papers and be noticed 24 hours before the operation. Pete Smith promotes Wickets to field officer to take direct command, although he isn't the brightest of the people there, which happened to be the husband of Pete's daughter named Tanya, as soldiers and office workers prepare for the operation. Wickets already gets into an argument with the new soldiers and brags about the office leading the operation, not the soldiers. When the operation begins, we learn that prawns have no concept of ownership and property. As the convoy enters the camp, we see prawns destroying rubbish and preparing for a firefight. As they step out of the truck, shots were fired immediately. One prawn starts eating the spare tire on the vehicle. As a soldier approaches the prawn and prods him, the prawn rips off his arm and kicks him back. The soldiers shoot the prawn down, and a few others, while Wickets distracts them with cat food. Next scene, we see a prawn bribed with cat food. We learn that cat food is drugs to them. Gray Bradman, the chief correspondent, tells us they think the prawns are the workers of the colony. They lost all their leadership, presumably through illness, Nigerian gangs, for scamming prawns by selling cat food for exorbitant prices, making interspecies prostitution available, and dealing in alien weaponry. As they go from door to door, they find a breeding house where a cow is hanging from the ceiling, providing nutrition for the prawn eggs. Quickest calls a cleaning team. They burned the house to the ground with the eggs in it. We learn from Gray that the real reason behind the moving is weapons. As NU stands for multinational, United is the second largest weapon manufacturer in the world. They discovered earlier that the alien weapons don't work with humans as they are biologically engineered, and they exclusively activate with prawn DNA. Next scene, we see a prawn in a red vest named Christopher searching for a fluid what can only be found in their own electronic waste. The young prawn finds it and gives to Christopher. We see them extract the fluid and making something with it. They hide the device while Wickets and his team is approaching the house. Wiki searches the house for weapons, but instead he finds the device. The prawns tried to hide the device, sprays a black liquid fluid on which is his face. He starts coughing and asking the cameraman to cut that out of the video. They eventually find a stack of weapons in the house. Weakest takes a gun outside to show it off. When the prawn attacks Dirk and throws him away, the prawn throws away Wickets as well before the soldiers shoot him down. As the prawn begs for his life, Kubis executes him. Witnesses injured, but refuses to go to a hospital and stays on site. Christopher sends his son out to watch out for humans. Wickets approaches the house, and as they tried to make Christopher sign the papers, we see that he has a concept of property and questions the eviction. Christopher also states that the menu should give him 24 hours, indicating his capability to read English. The prawn says what the menu doing isn't legal and refuses to sign the papers. Quickest threatens him by saying he is going to take his son away and lock up the little one in a 1-by-1 cell for the rest of his life as he looks for the child prawn. He started feeling unwell and vomits behind the shack. Quickest leaves without a signature or the child as he feels dizzy after the container sprayed him with a black fluid. They stopped at a local fast food restaurant. When the others notice black fluid coming out of Wicket's nose back at the menu headquarters, Wicket's nail falls off. He rushes to the toilet where he can easily remove his nails. Christopher and his son later goes back to look for the container, but they can't find it as Wickets took it and sprayed on himself. Nigerian gangsters extract weapons out from District 9 to sell them. They buy a battle robot for 100 cans of cat food. We learned that the Nigerians consume the prawns as they believe they can consume their power as well to use their weapons when Wickets gets home. His wife surprises him with a party to congratulate him for the promotion. Pete is furious about the too many dead prawns and tells Wickets he'll replace him if he isn't capable of the job. When We Kissed tries to cut his cake, he vomits black and faints. He wakes up in a hospital, and when a doctor cuts off his bandages, he reveals that his hand mutated to a tentacle just like what the prawns have. The menu comes and puts him in a bag to take him away. When Wickets wakes up, he sees many doctors performing surgery and research on him. They find the container that sprayed him after cleaning Wickets. The new performs a pain threshold test on him which showed that the nerves have fused completely. The menu tests weapons with Wickets, if he can activate them. The test is successful, which becomes the first human to be able to fire a prawn weapon. The menu puts an alien as a target for Wickets. Wickets begs for them to put a dead pig there instead of an innocent alien. But the menu makes him shoot the gun, killing the frightened creature. They discover that Wickets can activate the guns even with his human hand. The menu discusses the possibility of harvesting whatever they can from Wickets, since he is going to turn into a prawn sooner or later. Pete agrees to harvest Wickets and says he'll handle the rest with his daughter. Pete then goes to Tanya, lying to her that her husband is badly injured and the doctors. They're doing everything they can to save him. As the doctors begin to harvest Wickets, he breaks free from his straps and beats the doctors. He takes a scalpel into his hand and threatens the other doctors to kill one of their co-workers. Wickets escapes successfully. Pete sends Kubis after Wickets. The menu puts lies about Wickets in the news to turn public opinion against him. They lie that he had intercourse with a prawn and he has an infectious disease. After receiving no help, Quickest decides to head to District 9 and hide there 40 hours. After the exposure, Weakest heads to the local restaurant and treats himself to a can of cat food. As he is eating the cat food, his teeth starts to fall out, which is his phone rings. It's Tanya. Tanya only calls him to tell him she believes the news in his father and that she doesn't want to see him again. Wickets then takes an axe and tries to chop off his prawn arm. He manages to chop off one of his fingers, but as he is about to continue, dozens of choppers flood the sky to hide from the choppers. He hides in one of the shacks. Inside he meets Christopher and his son again. Quickest sees computers working on something, and as he begs Christopher to help him hide, he collapses due to blood loss, revealing his arm. Christopher hides him under his house. As Weakest wakes up, Christopher starts questioning him about the fluid. Christopher learns that the fluid is at the new lab. The kid tells Wickets that the black fluid was fuel for them to fly away. Christopher tells Wickets he could have fixed him, but it is too late now. Christopher says they have machines and medicine on the mothership to heal him, but to get there they need the fluid. Weakest tells the prawn to just collect more, but the prawn tells him it took him 20 years to collect that amount, and it is impossible to collect more Wickets, and the prawn agreed to go and retrieve the fluid from menu. 56 hours after the exposure, Weakest turns more and more into a prawn as he checks himself in the mirror. He sees that his skin is coming off, revealing his prawn body under it. Wickets gets another call from Tanya telling him she wants everything to be back. Wickets talks with her on the phone, not knowing her dad's tracing his phone down. Now the new knows Wickets, as in District 9 Wickes heads to the Nigerian gang to buy weapons so they can attack the menu base. Quickest doesn't know about the Nigerians believing in consuming the prawns to possess their powers, so the leader gives command to cut. Wiki says prawn hand off just before they about to cut his hand off. Quickest grabs an alien gun and shoots two of the gang members. Weakest leaves with the weapons. Wickes and Christopher attacks the new building. They reach level 4, where they keep the fluid. Weakest finds the fluid and tells Christopher to leave, but Christopher freezes as he sees dozens of his people slaughtered on tables. The new soldiers reached level 4. Raining bullets on Christopher and Wickes. As Christopher and Wickes is pinned down, Christopher makes a bomb to blast the wall. They escape through the garage with a stolen new car. Kubis chases after them in a helicopter. When they get back to Christopher's shack, Christopher reveals to Wickets that the process to transform him back to human will take 3 years. Christopher says he needs to save his own people first and not let them become medical experiments. Christopher promises that he will come back in 3 years, but Wickets gets angry and slams a piece of wood against Christopher's head, knocking him unconscious. Kubis enters the shack as Christopher's. Waking up, Wickets climbed down to the ship and inserted the fluid. Kubis is beating up Christopher as he refuses to open the ship's door. Wickes starts the ship by putting his hands in the fluid. The ship starts taking off. Kubis orders the anti-aircraft missile launcher to shoot him down. The ship gets hit, loses an engine and hits the ground. Kubis lucks Christopher away and raids the downed ship. Kubis takes Wickets away as Christopher's son is in hiding 72 hours after the exposure to the fluid. Christopher and Wickets is being transferred when the Nigerian gang hits the new, taking Wickets to their leader. Christopher's son is fixing their ship while more new soldiers swarm the area. The little prawn manages to emit away from the mothership. The robot previously sold to the gang activates and kills the members before they could cut. Wiki says arms off. Wicked shows his hand to the machine. And it opens up, giving the opportunity for Weakest to mend the machine. The menu soldiers dragged Christopher out of the van, trying to get answers from him about what is happening, with the mothership quickest finally sits in the machine and runs away, telling the soldiers to keep Christopher. But let him run. He starts to run, leaving Christopher to die, but his conscience makes him turn back. He shoots the new soldiers, he leads Christopher to his boy, while killing off remaining new soldiers in the area. A high-caliber sniper rifle hits him twice and damages the machine. Wycus machine breaks down and tells Christopher to go without him. Christopher doesn't want to leave him behind, but he has no other choice. He tells Wycus he will come back for him 3 years, I promise. Quickest takes his last stand, killing dozens of soldiers. The beam gets activated from the mothership Christopher, and his son starts levitating in the ship towards the mothership. As Wycus machine gets more and more damaged, he falls to the ground. Cubist tries to shoot down the ship with an RPG, but Weakest grabs the rocket exploding in the machine's arm. When Wickets is about to shoot down Cubis, the machine gets hit by a car laying on the ground. Weakest watches as the beam lifts Christopher and his son inside the mothership. Quickest gets back up one more time, shooting the car's driver. The machine gets hit by a shotgun from behind, and Wickets gets ejected as he crawls on the ground trying to get away from Cubis. He sees that Christopher and his son reach the mothership, meaning they're safe as Cubis is about to kill Wickets. The prawns come out of hiding, tearing Cubis into pieces. Christopher activates the mothership and leaves Earth Grey. Bradman comes back and says that was the last footage of Wickets, and they don't know what happened to him. The film ends saying District 9 is demolished by now. District 10 houses over 2.5 million aliens, and the number continues to grow. Tanya shows a metal rose that was left on her doorstep. Then we see a prawn with cloth on his arm, making it indicating that Wickets turned into a prawn. Hope you like this story. If so, please like and share this video, and do subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon. Thanks for watching.